Nice to see you all again on this lovely Monday evening. Bit of a strange Monday evening, but here we are nonetheless. If you didn't read the chat before, grab two pillows, or not two pillows, two cushions, one pillow or a rolled up blanket, and then come back and join us on the mat while I say hi to everybody else. So, nice to virtually see you. Again, a bit of a strange one, a bit of a weird weekend, not seeing everybody on Sunday morning in Lloyd Park as I usually would. So yeah, Monday night, but nice to meet you virtually anyway. If you're one of the new people who I haven't really met but have borrowed a mat off me, fab for joining, and I hope you will enjoy the session. And I noticed a few older veteran yogi names coming up, so lovely to have you as well. I also put that this evening's class would be suitable for ladies who are pregnant or postnatal. That is great, and we're glad to have you. However, be really super careful with your body and make sure it's only stuff that you really are enjoying doing. If it's stuff that doesn't feel like it should be for you, then please don't do it, and just take a moment and have some nice deep breaths. Anyway, so nice to welcome you all this evening. I'm Eliza if I haven't met you before, and I hope you really enjoy this evening's session. So we will get going. So make your way down onto the mat, onto your back. So come all the way down onto your back, bring your feet as wide as the yoga mat and draw your knees together, and then lie yourself back down, hair bobble allowing. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, and then lift your bottom, tuck your pelvis and settle back down into the mat. So you want your spine as long as possible on the mat. And again, if I've obviously if you've joined and you're pregnant in your third trimester, this might not feel so good, in which case no worries, just rest comfortably, sitting with your legs cross-legged and closing the eyes down. So we're all going to close the eyes down now and start to settle on to your mat. Again, it's a bit of a strange one at the moment to know how everybody's feeling, body-wise, mind-wise, emotional. I know it's been a tough old weekend and a tough a long day, and only just the beginning, huh? So take a moment to acknowledge all of those thoughts, those feelings, those things that are cropping up that aren't quite our usual mental or physical state. And just be aware of that. Pay attention to that. Again, noticing what is true for you this evening with those eyes closed, internalizing the thoughts. And as we rest here and breathe, again, notice perhaps whether it's difficult for your breath to move freely through the body. And then take a nice big inhale breath into the centre of the chest. As you exhale, big open mouth sigh, and turn the palms upwards if they're not already. Two more of those, big breath in, big sigh out. Letting everything fall away into the floor. Nice, last one, big breath in, big sigh out. Just taking a moment to release a little bit of tension, if there is any there. And then closing the mouth down, parting the teeth to allow the breath to come a little bit deeper along the sides of the belly, into the lower belly. And just enjoy this space for a moment, this time to just be at one with your body. And notice perhaps whether there are things that are feeling a little bit out of tune, out of time, out of step. And again, it's okay to feel a little anxious, to feel a little uncertain, unsteady. Again, just allowing yourself to be exactly what you are and where you are at this very moment in time, and acknowledging a change to the usual status quo. And again, in that acknowledgement, we take a moment to, as always, make a promise to ourselves to practice with openness and honesty for our body this evening. Again, it's not just those ladies who have perhaps just recently given birth or are pregnant. We all have to be aware not to overstretch, to be comfortable with what we're doing. And so taking a final big breath in, and a big sigh out here. And then if you're on your back, turning your palms to face this floor and bringing your knees up to the ceiling. Scooch your feet a little bit closer to the centre, hip width apart, and a little bit closer to your bottom. So if you are pregnant, stay crossing your legs. I'll come to you in a second. Just take some nice deep breaths. If we are in bridge pose or lying down bridge pose, take a moment as you inhale to draw the pelvis up, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, tuck your pelvis under and roll your back down vertebrae by vertebrae. Doing that a couple of times with your breath as you inhale, lifting up nice and slowly, nice and gently. And then as you exhale, rolling yourself down. So if you are one of my lovely pregnant third trimester ladies and you're sitting cross-legged, make sure one leg is in front of the other, not actually crossing. Just take a moment to start to arch your spine, lift your chest and open as you inhale. And then as you exhale, round through your back. So again, keep nice and steady with your breath, inhaling to open the chest, lifting and lengthening, and then exhaling to round through your spine. And just keep steady with your breath. So again, if you're lying down at this moment, start to add the arms into your movement. So as you inhale, you're floating your arms over your head as your pelvis lifts. And as you exhale, you're allowing them to come down beside your body. So on that inhale again, you're feeling super open all the way through the upper body. And as you exhale again, allowing the body to rest and relax on the floor. Again, nice and long through your breath, inhaling and lifting. Exhaling and grounding to release. So last one, big breath in, and big breath out. And again, if you're on the floor, draw your knees in towards your chest, a little bunny hop to release low spine, rocking left to right. And then a couple of rocks forwards and backwards to come up and join our third trimester ladies in our comfortable cross-legged seat. Again, if you've got any hip worries or it's feeling uncomfortable, you can place a cushion, one of your trusty cushions or pillows or blanket underneath your bottom so that you're nice and comfortable to let the hips relax and release beside you. So from here, take a nice big breath in. Again, as you inhale, reach the arms out to the side and up, nice and tall. As you exhale, gentle sigh. And let the arms just float down beside you. Again, we're taking it nice and easy this evening. So as you inhale, lifting up, feel a stretch along the sides of the rib cage, and as you exhale, big sigh to let everything go. Again, we're all about the grounding this evening, finding release in the body. So as you inhale again, reaching and stretching, opening up the lungs. Exhale, big sigh to relax. Last one, big breath in. Big sigh. And then we're going to wander that right set of fingertips out as you inhale, lifting up through left arm. As you exhale, bending the right elbow and dropping the shoulder in towards the side. Big breath in. On the next exhale, you're going to push down into your left sit bone. So nice and long, nice and open through the low spine. On the inhale breath, you're going to draw that top arm back so you can turn and look underneath it. And as you exhale, keep the same structure of your arm but come forward with the whole of the shoulder and look down towards that right hand. Again, inhale breath, you're going to lift all the way up, keeping that bottom shoulder drawn into the socket. And as you exhale, you're going to come forward and over with that arm. Then a nice big stretch all the way down the side of the body. Again, on that inhale breath, lifting up, drawing, supporting shoulder back. And as you exhale, come all the way forward. Last one, inhale to lift all the way up. This time you can kind of continue that lift and extend through the supporting arm and reach behind you with a nice open palm. Try and draw that top shoulder down the back as well to create a nice big stretch along the collarbones. Inhale back up, turn to face the front, and then exhale, fingertips come down. So roll the shoulders up, back and down, and then draw the chin down towards the chest for a moment, pushing into those fingertips. Find a lift through the back body. Again, that softness through your shoulders. See how that feels for the back of the neck for a moment. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And then from here, as you inhale, lifting up through that right arm. As you exhale, bending the left shoulder, the left elbow in towards you and gently curving over. Again, on your next exhale, pushing down into that right sit bone to find length through the whole of that right side body. Inhale breath, you're going to draw the top arm back, turn to look underneath. And as you exhale again, the whole of the side shoulder as well comes all the way forward and down. So you're turning to look towards the supporting hand. Inhale breath to lift it up. Again, making sure that supporting shoulder is drawing in. As you exhale, come forward and over. Again, nice big stretch along the lat. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come forward. Again, try and keep with your breath. Don't worry whether it's with my breath. Inhale to open all the way up. Exhale to come forward. Again, last time, as you inhale this time, start to straighten your supporting arm and reach behind you. And hopefully you haven't got anything in the way behind you. I know it's kind of difficult practicing at home, trying to find the right space. I've been spending some time rearranging our lovely kitchen this evening. So making sure that shoulder comes down the back, opening through the palm, extending out that line of energy. Big breath in, big sigh out. Inhale to sweep it up, turning to face the front, and as you exhale again, fingertips come down onto the floor, drop the chin, lift up through the back of the neck. So we're creating that really long spine, pushing down into the ground with those fingertips. Again, find length through the body here. A long space in the back of your neck as you breathe. Again, that final big breath in. Huge sigh out. And then we're going to take that right hand behind. Left hand onto the back of the knee. So we're going to do a spinal twist. If you are pregnant, please do not go below middle back. If you are pregnant, please do not go below middle back. So making sure that when you extend up your spinal column on the inhale, we create that long spine. But again, if you have a lovely bump here, please don't twist around that bump. So gently opening up through the back. If you don't have a bump, twist all the way from low spine. So as we turn to look over that back shoulder, again find lift through your upper body. And then from here, you're going to drop the chin down towards that right collarbone. So again, we're finding length all the way through the left side of the neck. Again, deeper the breath you can to open up the chest. Keeping the same structure of the body. On your next inhale, lift your chin all the way up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, turn to look over your left shoulder. Now your left shoulder wants to come up to meet your chin. If you can, draw it down towards the floor. A nice big push into the back of that front hand if you're not pregnant. So a nice big breath in and out here again. See how that feels for the neck. One more big breath in. Big sigh out. Coming back to the front, give yourself a really big shoulder roll up, back and down to reset, and then up, forward and down. Maybe another one up, back and down. So left hand behind, right hand onto the back of the left knee. Again, create a nice tall back body as you inhale, and as you exhale, twisting through that back. So a couple of breaths here, nice and open across the chest. And then on the next exhale, again, you're going to bring the chin down towards that back collarbone, the left collarbone. And then on the next inhale, looking up towards the ceiling, taking a gentle arc through your neck as you come to bring the chin down towards the front shoulder. Again, try not to let that front shoulder come up to meet you. We're still drawing it down into its socket. Deepening the breath. So again, one more big breath in. Big sigh out. And then unwinding the spine, rolling shoulders up, back and down. Again, up, forward and down. And then last one, up, back and down. Okay, so give it a little shake out and then come over onto all fours. Again, this is the point maybe whether you need one or two of your pillows. Please bring both knees onto your pillows or cushions, but make sure that your knees are definitely underneath your hips. If you are coming onto cushions, I don't really need cushions. So making sure that you're nice and comfortable, but knees are definitely underneath your hips and your hands are going to place underneath your shoulders. Lifting up all 10 of your fingers, splaying them out nice and wide, and then rolling down through thumb, index finger, all the way to little finger to feel the ground, feel the earth underneath your hands, palms nice and open. Again, a nice big breath in. As you exhale, big sigh, push down through the heels of the hands and lift that space in between your shoulder blades. Start to draw the tailbone down towards the back of the mat to create length through the back of your body. Again, that nice big breath in here. Big sigh out. So we're going to tuck the left toes for a little bit of stability as we take your right foot back. A gentle circle around that right foot, a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way, and then stretch out through the base of that leg, nice and long through the heel, Toes point down towards the floor. Upper body, lifting chest, drawing your shoulders back, brightening the collarbones up. Hugging baby in towards your spine if you have one in there. Nice big breath in. Big sigh out. Again, any C-sections, I wouldn't bother doing the next bit. And certainly third trimesters, if you're feeling tired, no worries. If you want to, you can take your left arm forward. Again, drawing right shoulder back into its socket, lifting up through middle body to find length and openness through upper body. Again, one more big breath in. Big sigh out. If you're feeling comfortable, you can take that right foot up in towards your bottom. And again, either place the left hand down, or you can take your left hand behind you to grab hold of the top of that right foot. On the inhale breath, lifting chest, kicking it away from you and opening up through the upper body. Again, you're looking forward here to find length across your collarbones, but your right shoulder is nice and stable. Big breath in. Exhale breath, open it back out. And then release left hand down. Right knee comes down, left toes untucked, and just give yourself a gentle sway from left to right. So coming on to the other side, again, make sure that all the joints are over, stacked on top of one another, so nice and strong through your body as you take your left foot back. A circle one way, and a circle the other way. And then come back to full flex of that left heel. Toes point down towards the floor. Try not to lift it too far up because then we end up sagging in the middle slightly. So make sure it's nice and level with your back body. Lifting chest, shoulders back. Nice big breath in. Again, as you exhale, you can take your right arm forward. You don't have to, but find a nice long line between right middle finger and left heel if you have. Again, a gentle hug with baby in the centre if there's one there to lengthen low spine. And then if you want to take it a little further, left toes in towards the bottom. Again, maybe the right hand comes down, or maybe you take the right hand behind to find that left foot. On the next inhale, kicking the foot away, lifting chest, looking forward, lengthening your collarbones. Again, that really big breath in. As you exhale, big sigh, reaching and extending, right hand down. Left knee down, untucked toes, a gentle sway. And then from here, because we've been on our shoulders for a little while, we're going to come in to thread the needle just to release and relax your upper back. So take the right arm out to the side, nice and tall. Again, maybe you want to place your knees on a blanket now if it's feeling uncomfortable. And the right hand comes all the way underneath, right side of the head is on the floor. So again, if you're feeling it's really difficult because your neck is feeling like tight, then you can always place your head on the edge of your cushion. But make sure that you're suitably comfortable. It shouldn't be an uncomfortable position. So right hand is coming all the way out and under. And then from here, if you're still feeling balanced, you can take your left hand forward and start to stretch out through the underside of your arm. So making sure that when we're coming into that nice stretched position, it's not causing you to be out of balance, because if it is, you just bring that left hand back to support yourself. So nice long breath here. Again, that big sigh. And then slide the left hand back underneath your shoulder. As you inhale, reach that right arm up. And then slide it behind your back into the middle of your spine. So into your sacrum area in the lower back. Roll your right shoulder up, back and down. Use the push through the left hand to lift your chest. Get a nice big gentle space in that right hand side. So nice big lift in the right shoulder. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Inhale, lifting that right arm up. Cartwheeling it forward. Stretching along the back and then placing it down. So inhale breath, left arm up. Exhale breath, bringing the left hand underneath. Again, you're scooching as far out as you can. So you're coming onto the side of the head. And again, maybe it's more comfortable to bring your head onto a cushion. Oh, it's quite comfortable, yeah. Tuck your tailbone under a little. And if you're still feeling balanced and fabulous, you can start to walk your right fingertips forward. Again, those long, open, even breaths here. Again, certainly if there's a bump there, maybe it's better just to bring that hand there so you've got full support for your body. Final big breath in. Big sigh out. And then slide the right hand back. Again, on your inhale, I'm going to do this the other way so you can see what I'm doing. Take that left hand behind you, place it into the small of the lower back, and start to roll that left shoulder up, back and down. Push into the right hand, so as you lift, again, you get that really big stretch across your upper body. And then on the inhale breath, lift it all the way up. Reach it all the way forward, nice and long. And then plant it all the way down. So just to finish off with the shoulder stretch, I'll stay facing this way. Start to reach your hands forward and reach your bottom back. So it's not quite puppy stretch. You can go into full puppy stretch if you want to. But again, if there's a big bump now, you won't want to. So just reach the hands forward and nice and high with the pelvis. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And then very slowly walk those hands back. So take your right foot out to the side. Snuggle it to the right hand side of your right hand. That's the right hand side of your right hand. And then tuck your left toes underneath. Just a gentle stretch through your left calf muscle. A nice long bounce. So we're finding length through the base of the toes into that left heel. No tension in the right toes. And then from here, as you inhale, lift up through that right arm. Again, perhaps you want to bring the left kneecap down if you're feeling a little bit tired. That's fine. Just take a moment, lengthen out through the side. Big breath in. As you exhale, bring the right hand down and the left heel down. Inhale up, left arm. So again, perhaps you want to come up onto your fingertips. Perhaps you want to come up onto your arm. Wherever we are, start to tuck your pelvis under and find length to the side. So left middle finger is nice and long up to the ceiling. Big breath in. Big sigh out. See if you can engage those left obliques, those left side tummy muscles to pull you up, keeping the legs entirely still. It's a little easier said than done. Into warrior two. Generally, we'll need to heel toe that right foot so that it's in line with the arch of your left foot. Nice and open through the hips. Turning to look over your middle finger. Big breath in, up through the center line. Big sigh out, soften the hips. On the inhale breath, you're going to straighten your right leg, pull the underside of the right thigh, and take both arms up, turning to look towards them. As you exhale, shoulders come down and come out into warrior two. Inhale again, come into our star, nice and tall through the center, and then exhale, soften through that right thigh. Two more. Inhale, squeezing in and up through the inside of the right thigh. Exhale. And then inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, last time. Right arm on right knee, and then start to push into that right elbow. As you do so, draw the right shoulder back and sweep the left arm over the head. So nice and long through that side. Again, perhaps if you are pregnant or have just given birth, this might be a bit of a tough stretch. So bring your left hand onto your waist so that you're nice and supported. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, left arm comes forward to that right side. And then bring both hands down. Bring left kneecap down, right kneecap comes back, and then a gentle sway from left to right. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing on this side. So bring the hands together and bring that left foot in line with that left hand. Again, tucking right toes, and to come up through that right knee and start to gently open up through that right calf muscle. Again, it's just a gentle push into the back of the heel. Still keep the weight away from your shoulders, lifted and open into the back of that right knee. Again, long breaths here. And then with a full extension of the back of the right knee, or dropping it back down, you can inhale up through the left arm. Making sure both shoulders are pushed back into their sockets, not just the top one, the bottom one as well. Big breath in. Exhale, left hand on the inside of that left foot, right heel comes down. Again, as you inhale up through that right arm, maybe this is just too much of a stretch, maybe for tonight even. So left fingertips or left elbow, and find a long lift in that right side. Again, just notice whether you can feel your shoulder in your neck, I suppose, in your ear, and move yourself up and away from that. Push into that left arm to lift. Again, maybe you want to bring that right hand down too. Using those right obliques as you inhale, pull yourself up, but keep the legs entirely still. Heel toe left foot into the middle. So we have a nice open stance through the hips in Warrior Two. And then from here, as you inhale, lift up. Turn to look towards the front, reaching, to the right hand side I should say. Exhale, left to come into Warrior Two. Inhale. Squeezing up and through that center. Exhale. Inhale, two more. Get that nice tall extension. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And left arm onto left knee. Push into that left elbow to reach the right arm all the way up and over. Again, that might be too much for you this evening, in which case right hand onto the waist. But still find that lift in the left side of the ribs. Again, that big breath in here. And as you exhale, turn to look towards those left toes, reaching forward, and bring the hands down. So both kneecaps come down, again a gentle sway through those hips. Just coming into child's pose for a moment. Again, it's always nice to have a little rest. So maybe bring the knees wider if you need to accommodate, and then elbows out to the side. Maybe the head comes onto the hands tonight. And while we're in child's pose, again, just take a moment to acknowledge your body. How's it feeling? Are you a little bit more tired than you would be usually? Are you a little bit more breathless? Are you starting to feel the effects of a little bit of cabin fever? Again, whatever is true for you, take this moment to breathe into your back of your lungs, your rib cage, your low spine. Find softness through your shoulders. So one more nice big long breath in, and as you exhale, big sigh out. With your head still low, walk your hands forward, find a stretch through both sides of your body, and then again you have choices. You can either take a full extension child's pose with your hips lifted, or you can come all the way up into downward dog. If you're coming into downward dog, keep the knees nice and bent. Feel a stretch through your upper body, lengthen out through your arms. Big breath in, big sigh out. Big breath in, big sigh out. One more big breath in, big sigh out. If you're not in downward dog, just lifting your knees up as we're all going to walk really slowly now towards the top of the mat. Keep your feet hip width apart, maybe a little wider. And then from here, as you inhale, lift up halfway, nice and tall through your upper body, maybe fingertips on shins, tucking your tailbone under, and then as you exhale, bend the knees and allow the upper body to fold. So any blood pressure issues, you've got to be super careful bringing your head below your heart. Maybe it might be more comfortable to bring your arms onto your knees and bring your head roughly in line with your heart. Wherever we are, take this time to allow the body to soften and come into stillness. Again, that reset breath, nice and open into your back. And then bending the knees, coming very slowly up, one vertebra at a time. Rolling shoulders up, back and down. So, just coming into a nice grounding Vrikshasana tree pose. Just bring your hands onto your waist. So this is where we can really test our grounding and stability at the moment. Come onto your right foot, wriggle the toes on that right foot, toes in front of the heel, and then start to just gently sway the weight onto it as we lift up through that left foot. Flex the toes and gently move it backwards and forwards. Just loosen up the hip a little. Again, shoulders are nice and soft. Find a point in front of you that's not moving. That's kind of easier than in a yoga class, I suppose. Thank heavens for small Murphys, right? And then take an inhale to sweep your knee up into full flex with that foot. So have a little look at your standing leg. Have we started to soften? If you can, pull up through the thigh bone, pull down through the tailbone and lift. Again, if you are one of our pregnant ladies, or maybe just had a C-section or just had a baby, then the knee needs to be a little bit lower, nice and relaxed. And then from here, she says, feeling nice and balanced, come out to the side with that knee. So opening through the inside of the hip. And then wherever you feel like you should be this evening, can be toes on the floor, heel up onto opposite ankle. We're still grounding the body, we're still balancing the body. Maybe it's a little higher on your calf muscle. Avoid the kneecap, or maybe it's all the way up. Again, wherever we are, find that length to your tailbone, that lift to the crown of the head, softness to your shoulders. That long breath in and out. Find a steadiness here. And then next inhale, draw that kneecap in. As you exhale, plant it down. Again, just gently rock the weight from left to right. Wriggle the toes on the left foot and then gently shift the weight onto that left foot. Flexing right foot, moving forwards and backwards just to open and release the hip a little. Again, as you do that, notice whether your shoulders want to come up. Soften them down again. Next inhale, upswing, knee comes in and up. Again, maybe it's a little bit lower, but flexing that foot. Knee comes out to the side, lifting up through that supporting thigh, dropping down through the tailbone, and then moving the foot onto that opposite leg. Again, wherever it is, it doesn't matter. It should be where you find that comfortable space. Again, you can always bring the toes down, heel up onto that opposite ankle. Find a lift to the chest, a softness to your shoulders, and a steadiness to your gaze. Again, it's more importantly that we come into a long, open, even breath in this space, to feel grounded, to feel stability. And then next inhale, lift it all the way up and plant it all the way down. Again, a gentle rock from left to right, maybe a roll through your ankles. And then on the next inhale, bend the knees a little. I'll take a nice big upswing to inhale. And then an exhale, bend the knees and allow the belly to fall in the center of the thighs. Again, maybe you want to come halfway, but just let everything fall into softness. Maybe a little bounce here. And then again, we're going to roll up with that heavy head, heavy shoulders. Reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. And then on the inhale again, we're going to sweep those arms out and up. As you exhale, bring the arms behind you. Bring them into clasp. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Lift the chest. Draw your thumbs down towards the floor, but close to your body. And as you open the throat, notice whether that feels okay for your neck. Maybe you don't want to look up. Maybe you just want to look forward. Wherever we are, the shoulders are coming down the back, reaching the thumbs towards the floor. We're lifting the chest. As you inhale, we feel that expanse, but not at the detriment of our lower back. So everything is lifting, front, back, side to side, and we're opening through the upper body. Again, that nice big breath in. As you exhale, bend into the knees. We're starting to take the arms away from us now. Again, looking forward, looking down. Up to you where you want to stay. Maybe you want to let the head go all the way, maybe you don't. And then as you exhale, just let those arms go again, winding radiators. And then just give your shoulders a little wriggle to release. So from here, just plant your fingertips onto the floor. So again, they're stable. As we come up onto the toes. So coming up onto the toes, just give yourself a little stretch through the underside of the baseline of the toes. And then bend the knees even further to come and sit down onto the heels. Again, maybe the legs need to be a little bit wider if there's a bump that you need to accommodate. And we're here trying to find that stability, that grounding, that centre of our body. So take a moment here to see if that feels okay for you. If it does, maybe you want to take one hand off. Maybe you want to take the other hand off. Maybe not. Again, just noticing how that feels for the body today. One more big breath in. One more big sigh out. And then place the hands into the centre. As you give yourself a little frog kick, again, be careful of any surrounding equipment that may be in your way. Please try not to kick anything. But just releasing those toes before we come down onto the floor. So take the legs forward. Take the flesh away from the sit bones. Again, if you find it hard, if you're sacrum sitting, which means you're sitting into your lower back, then just prop yourself up with a pillow so that you can gently hinge yourself a little bit further forward and give yourself a little bit more space in your hips. But anyhow, sitting comfortably on both sides, taking the flesh away from the sit bones and reaching forward through both legs. Toes come up towards the ceiling or back towards the face if you possibly can, nice and open and long through those feet. And then bring the fingertips alongside your legs. As you inhale, create a long back body. As you exhale, again, your heart is moving towards your toes. So it's not about getting your head on your legs. It's about getting your heart centre to move towards the end of your mat. So nice and long through the back body. Again, shoulders stay down. Nice and open through the chest. Give yourself a moment here. Maybe after a few breaths, you can walk yourself a little bit further forward. Maybe you can reach towards the feet. If you are reaching towards the feet, please don't try and go over the top of the toes. That means your shoulders will end up coming up into your ears. Just come to the base of your heels. Again, nice and long with the breath. And again, if there's a bump in there, maybe the legs need to be a little bit wider to accommodate. Again, that really big breath in, followed by a really big sigh, and just let the upper body fall away. No tension in the toes, in the shoulders, in the back. No tension around the eye sockets, around the jaw. Let everything hang here. And then again, ever so slowly walking yourself back, supporting yourself up into our staff pose for a moment. Nice big breath in, big sigh out. So taking your right ankle on top of your left knee. So I'm going to turn to face you. I'm not even sure if you can see my whole body, but I'll come a little bit further off the mat. So taking your right ankle on top of your left knee, and then flexing both feet. If you can't see both feet, sorry about that. One of them's long and one of them's bent. Bring your heels of your hands onto ankle and knee. From here, as always, we take a nice long breath in to reach up, and as you exhale, start to lean forward. Again, if your hamstrings are super tight, if you've got a big bump in the middle of you, or if you've got lower back problems, maybe you want to bring your fingertips behind you. That way we can make sure that we're really up on the top of that pelvis, and we can start to lean a little further forward. What we're trying to avoid, as always, is that rounding of the back, because then the stretch goes away from the lower body and it goes into your back. So nice and tall through the heart. As you exhale, lean forward. If you're feeling comfortable-ish here, you can take your heel of your hand and push a little into the inside of your knee to open the hip a little further. Again, just watch the shoulders and make sure they don't come up. Long, even breaths. The head is in line with your spine, so it's nice and long and open. And then on the inhale, breath coming all the way up. Again, nice and straight through your spine. So again, if you've got a bump in the way, maybe you just want to bring your hands underneath that leg. Or if you're super tight, again, same grip. If you're a little bit more flexible, maybe the inner elbows come underneath the leg. And again, if you're flexible, still you can bring the inner elbows around the foot and the knee. Wherever we are, take a nice big lift through your spine. So nice and tall through your back. Hug the leg a little closer if you possibly can. And then very slowly start to move that leg left and right. If you can, just isolate that leg, keeping everything else as still as you can, nice and slow through the body. So try not to twist with that movement. Keep it nice and still through your back. Again, long, even breaths here. And then come back into the center as you inhale, nice and tall. Hug the leg a little closer as you exhale, let it go. So a little wiggle through the back of the knees before we come onto the other side. So bringing that left ankle on top of your right knee. Again, both feet are flexed. Heels of the hands on top of the knee and the ankle. As you inhale, lift up. Again, as you exhale, the heart is moving towards those toes. So it's really super stretch along that sciatic nerve, along the back of your calf, the hamstring, into the back of the knee. Relaxing shoulders. Try and keep the breath long. Again, alternative position is to bring those fingertips behind you to roll onto the front of your pelvis. Maybe you're upright. That's okay too. You're still getting the same stretch. Try and avoid the fingertips around the knee because we tend to lift it up towards us. If you can, a gentle pushing away of that kneecap. And then on the next inhale, lifting up, straight spine. Again, maybe you bring the hands underneath the calf muscle so you've got space, or maybe you can bring it all the way up. Wherever you are, doesn't matter. Just find what's right for your body at this present moment in time. And then on the next inhale, someone is pulling you up through the middle of the head, so nice and tall through your back. Very slowly start to move that leg left to right. Nice and long through those movements if you can, keeping everything tall. Again, long, even flow of breath. It's so important to keep that breath moving through the body so that we find that space that we can create through these positions. And back into the centre on the inhale, big hug. And then exhale, let that leg go. Again, a gentle wiggle through those legs. And a circle around your ankles. So nice and long through the base of those legs. So, for those of you who aren't pregnant, boat pose, we do have alternatives if you fancy it, but only if you're feeling up to it. If not, no worries. So if you want to start off with the hands underneath your knees, make sure you're nice and comfortable on your sit bones, and then we're going to lift up through the chest. Again, perhaps if you're pregnant, you just want to stay here. Find a tall back body and a soft space in your shoulders. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can take the feet up parallel with those knees, but keep the neck relaxed. So a gentle bob of the head from left to right. Next motion is to take those fingertips, 2 fingers underneath your knees. Again, nice big breath in. Big sigh out. Let the back settle a little. And then if you're feeling comfortable still, you can take the palms up. Again, if you're pregnant, please don't take the hands off. Please keep the feet down and the hands underneath the knees. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more big breath in. One more big sigh out. And then if you want to, you can straighten your legs. Again, long, open, even breaths here. Find an extension for your body. Keeping that lift in the chest. And gently exhale to draw the knees in. Let the feet go, let the shoulders soften, let the back of the neck be long. And then from here you can roll down onto the floor. So 3rd trimester ladies, just give yourself time to get onto your left hand side. 2nd trimester ladies too. Everybody else, we can come down slowly to relax on the back. Again, if you want a little spinal twist to finish, just reach your arms behind you, take your knees to the right, gazing to the left. And then as you inhale, lifting those knees. Exhale, knees to the left, gazing to the right. Just releasing that low spine. Again, if you want to lay down on your left hand side and place a block between your knees, if you're pregnant. If not, and you're feeling a little bit tight in the lower back, you can rest how we started, which is feet wide as the mat, knees together, palms open, or you can come into full Shavasana. Wherever you are, come to rest with your hands on your belly. A gentle rock with the head from left to right. Again, if you want to place a blanket over you or a jumper on, please do so now, closing the eyes down. So taking a moment to settle your body, to steady your breath. Come and relax the legs, the toes falling open, heels melting into the floor. No tension around the knees, around the thighs, around the hips. Low back softening and relaxing. The space around the back of the rib cage falling heavy into the earth. No tension across your shoulders. Your lungs open, breathing fresh new air into the body. Back of the head heavy, neck is long. Cheeks soft. Eyebrows relaxed. Coming to rest, the awareness in the center of your eyebrows. As we let everything go for a moment, coming into that space of stillness. again, starting to deepen the breath, wriggling fingers and toes. Taking a big breath underneath those hands into the belly. Big sigh out. Taking a big stretch with the next breath. Again, that really big sigh out. Still with eyes closed, rolling onto the right if you're not already on your left. And then when you're ready, coming up into our comfortable cross-legged seat, placing one hand onto belly and one hand onto the heart. As we take this moment to honour our practice this evening, giving ourselves the time to find grounding, stability and strength. Coming to this space of stillness whenever we can off the mat. And knowing that we will all be okay. Taking that final big breath in. Big grounding sigh. Placing the hands together, rubbing them to warm them. And then placing those hands as cups over the eyes. Letting the head fall into those hands today. Blinking eyelids open. And raising gaze. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, live or not live, as it will be a video on my YouTube channel after this evening. But I really enjoyed the practice tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the grounding that hopefully it would have afforded you. If you know any NHS workers, please forward this video on to them. Obviously NHS workers please don't donate. If you do want to, however, give a little donation, then the link is below, and all donations are welcome. It doesn't have to be a set fee. But also, if you can't afford it, then that's great too, that's fine. I'd rather everybody gets the chance to practice. If you did like it, please do comment below and like below, and please do share with all your friends. And hopefully I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday evening practice is at 7:45 this week. It'll be a little bit more energising, a little bit more along our Wednesday Hatha flow classes if you've been to one of those before. And if not, then I will see you on the mat next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Namaste.